Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Alex Jerome Powell just was at Jackson Hole. He didn't did everything, but say 100% that rate cuts will begin in September. So, two-part question for you. How do you think it will impact the stock market, and how do you think it will impact the real estate market?
In the rate cut that has been talked about in September, that one I don't think is gonna have a huge effect on the real estate market just because the anticipated rate cut that they've been talking about is like 25 to 50 basis points, like a quarter percent to half percent, which isn't going to really do much for the real estate market from what I understand because it's not a huge cut. It's not a huge drop in percentage. I mean, we're still sitting at, I think last time I checked, like last week, still sitting at 6 to 7%. So figure a quarter of that being cut, it's still gonna be in that range. Um, I think the real estate market is still gonna have its opportunities. The stock market, I think the stock market has already been reacting to the news that is upcoming, that rate cut is upcoming, and it's bullish off of the news. But if the rate cut is not significant, I could see the market reacting on the negative end, basically. Like the market anticipating to become bullish, and then the rate cut is not anything exciting, and then the market uh, will see a pullback from it.
Right. So, just to be clear, so right now, I just looked it up while you was talking. The average rate, and this is September 2nd. Jerome Powell's supposed to speak on the 18th. Um, The mortgage rate right now is like at 6.4. That's combined. All of it's about 6.4. And the interest rate from Jerome Powell, it will not affect the housing market rate at all. They only manipulate the short-term rates. So, the overnight rate, 1 month rate and what have you. So the interest rate for the housing market has already been going down. People just don't know it and they wait for Jerome Powell to say something. But the interest rate has went from 8% all the way down to 6.4. But the only thing that's happened in that time is supply has increased, but demand has not. And it's just my view on it. Demand has not. I think if Jerome Powell announces a rate cut, 25 basis points, 50 basis points, whatever, the demand still won't show up. And the reason why I'm saying the demand won't show up, during COVID, we had the demand there. We had interest rates near zero on the short term rate, but mortgage rates was at 2, 3, 4%. So you still have a lot of people locked into that 4% range. So the interest rate coming down to 6.5% does not give them the aptitude to say, oh, I'll buy a house that costs more than what I paid and pay a higher interest rate. So effectively a higher monthly payment. The other aspect of it, why I don't think the demand will show up, is because most of the people where, they put all that stimulus money into the economy, all that money has already been spent on goods and services. It wasn't, held on the sidelines or, oh, I'll save it for when interest rates come down. So now, as they talk about on the news, especially CNBC and things like that, people are financially strapped. We had the highest rate of, credit card debt in US history. During COVID, people was paying down debt, but now they went back to debt. People are using credit cards to pay for their monthly expenses. So that's why I don't think the housing market, nothing will really change. And I think that will be, I mean, it's because everybody's waiting for Jerome Powell to announce the interest rate cut. And then they thinking that it's going to be the swat the demand. Mind you, we're in September. The home buyer market is all but closed now. Kids are in school. People are getting back into their school routine. Moving from one house to the next is really not there. So I really don't think the demand aspect on the housing market will come. Supply will still get on the market, but I don't think the demand will be there. Um, Transferring to the real estate market, I mean the stock market, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's the market is a forward-looking object. Uh, the market has been going up on the rumor of a rate cut. I think this will be buy the rumor, sell the news. kind of thing. Now, if Jerome Powell comes out and say we cutting the rate 50 basis point or we cutting it 75 basis point, maybe that'll give a jolt to the stock market. But I think this would be a buy the rumor. So people have been buying up the rumor. Stocks were at an all-time high. We had that little rollover because of the pairs trade. But besides that, and then we had a rally again, but we didn't quite hit the all-time highs again. But I think it will rally up into the decision. The decision come, and then we will have a small rollover, maybe even a correction in the stock market. And I think that will provide opportunity for stock investors if they're in there. But I don't see that it's going to rally after the rate cut when, again, the market is already forward looking. The market is already looking to, January, February, and March, looking at GDP numbers now. And people will be off sides if they're waiting for Jerome Powell to say, "Hey, we're going to cut rates," and they're going to jump in the stock market. They will be way off sides on that trade, I believe. And then so I got a question for you. So
Mhm.
people are not just saying we're talking heads. What are you doing right now? What is you positioned for right now with this potential rate cut coming up? Are you 100% invested in stocks now? Do you got money sitting on the sidelines? Where is your standpoint at right now, preparing for this announcement on the 18th of September?
Yeah, so the majority of my money is still in stock, but it's um in retirement accounts. And then I do have a cash position in my individual just brokerage account that I am just waiting to see if there's a pullback. I have some stock that I was able to pick up on the last pullback, like a couple shares of the NASDAQ from when it came back. I think this was the beginning of August around that time when there was that pullback from, I think it was about a 10-15% correction. So I was able to get a couple shares at that time, but I'm mostly just in cash on that end, waiting for a pullback. So the only stock, like major stock positions I'm holding right now is just retirement accounts that I haven't touched or anything. And then the rest in my day-to-day movement with the stock market in my brokerage account is just a big cash position that I'm adding to until there's a pullback.
No, no, I like that strategy. I'm similar. I don't know which one's going to give me the opportunity first, if it's going to be real estate or the stock market, but I'm prepared for either one. Once Jerome Powell announced that the rates was increasing, and then I went all in the stock market. I just kept plowing all of 2022. I just kept plowing money in, and then when we crest the previous highs from when we was at damn near zero on the interest rate, I start paring back the amount of money I've invested, and I just been stacking it in cash, just waiting for the opportunity, no matter if it's real estate or if it's stock market. I mean, I still invest every month, every week, but it's not at the volume that I was doing in 2022 when the market was just going down for most of the year. And that's just waiting for the next opportunity. Just like Warren Buffett did a couple weeks ago, paired the position in Apple, paired the position, still pairing the position in Bank of America, sitting on the cash floor, waiting for an opportunity. So, I mean, I'm not reinventing the blueprint. I'm just following one of the greatest to ever do it. So, I'm still heavily invested in the market, but I've been sitting there instead of taking the capital that I generate from other assets. I've been just sitting on the sidelines waiting for the next opportunity to come. I'm not sitting there in high yield savings accounts thinking that, 3-5% interest rate is going to do anything for me, but I'm just sitting there just waiting for an opportunity. And when it comes, I will take advantage of it.
That being said, guys, if you have any questions on this topic, let us know, please, down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe. And then we'll see you guys on the next one.